The question today is, can I beat the sun? Because what I've got here is a 2N3055 transistor with the top of it removed. And a popular thing people do is to see what kind of voltage they can get from the sun hitting it. And I simply thought, is there something better than the sun? Can we get more voltage out of it by hitting it with some other kind of light source? Let's find out. I've just been down to the post office and this has turned up. Very rattly. Let's see what it is. Okay, it's a bag of 2N3055 transistors. Now, I don't think I've ever bought any of these. They're intended for high current experiments, but I want to try some other experiments with them instead. Yeah, before any high current stuff, I want to try, the things that people normally do, which is decapping and seeing if they'll react to sunlight, but also several more experiments, now that I've got some literally on the table. The first thing to do will be to take the cap off this, and I did wonder how difficult it might be. I've seen a couple of videos on it. People do recommend putting them in a vise, slightly turning, move it around, the thing will actually come away, but also to use a hacksaw. I think I'm going to use like a rotary tool, a Dremel, and try it that way. Well, that was relatively trouble-free really. I just had this going at a slow speed and it just took me time with it, about 5 minutes, maybe longer, and then eventually, yeah, the top came off and there we go. That is the inside of one of these. A tiny little area there on the bottom left for the silicon itself. Here we are with a close-up of it, and yeah, you can just see now on that left hand side how small the 3055 is on the inside. Those other two big pieces there, of course, being the connections to the outside, the emitter and the base. So it's ready to get fried in the summer sun. Let's take it outside. The first thing to try is the basic solar test. So with it in the sun and connected to the collector and the base, we're actually getting 0.521 volts. And for current, somewhere around a milliamp. Now that we've got that baseline, we can start testing other light sources. Also, as a by the way, I realised how tatty this meter was looking. So I did a bit more cleaning on it than usual and I've taken off a lot more of the lettering that's on it. Oops. Anyway, it's on the 2 volt scale, and in this light we're showing 0.28 volts, 0.3 volts. That's with no light on at all. First thing to do is see what happens with a table lamp. So this is the more usual table lighting that I have. It's an 8 watt LED bulb and we're showing 0.330, something like that. Yep, 0.33. The first thing to test will be this flashlight, and it's got quite a strong output, fresh batteries in it, and we'll see if that goes any higher. So anything more than 0.35, let's see. And what do we get? Oh yes, we do. 0.49. So that's not too bad, saying that most of the time LEDs don't actually do much for solar cells. It's made a decent improvement here. For current, we're nearly at 1/4 milliamp. I'm using this meter now because the other one's gone on the fritz. This is on the 0.5 milliamp scale and we're nearly halfway with it. So yeah, 1/4 milliamp. If I wave this around a little, you can see the difference in the current just by taking it off center. Anyway, next test. Now for the laser, which I still think is an amazing purchase for $1.25, and that's what it cost me from Dollar Tree the other day. So right, let's try this one. Alright, first of all I'll line it up and we'll see what we get. Oh, look at this. Just immediately 0.49. And for current, oh, we are getting something. That has to be, just about 20 microamps, something like that. It's not a lot. I did expect there to be more from a laser. What did you think? Do you think there'd be more current than that from a laser? So a round of tests next, and what I'll be testing is a bunch of high performance LEDs, good clear ones, and I'll be using a CR2032 little 3 volt coin cell, which interestingly enough is just about the same size as the cap from the 3055. First of all, a blue. Do we get any higher than the 0.33? And the answer is yes, 0.41. Next along is warm white. There we go. And 0.457. Next along, regular white, which I'd expect to be slightly higher. So there we are. And no, 0.415, 0.41 anyway, somewhere like that. I did just check the two of them again, and sure enough, the warm white was slightly better than the bright white. So yeah, that is a surprising result. Next is a pinky purple. There we go, and 0.43 on that one. Yep, 0.439. Next along, yellowy green, 0.365. So, what does yellow itself do? And oh, yes, 0.4. See if I can adjust it any point. Yeah, 0.41. And the last LED is a basic red. It does have voltage on its side. There we go. And oh yes, 0.442. That's higher than I thought it would be. 0.445. So that was those tests using a simple CR2032 3V coin cell. And I wondered, what about infrared? So here's an infrared unit, normally goes onto a camera. Let's see what that does. Switched it on, you can just about see that purple type of colour. Place it right on, much as I can, right onto it. And there we go. Wow, 0.538. So that's really, really good. That's infrared, a whole bank of those LEDs. Now, hang on a minute, there's a wheel on the back. If I turn this up, sure enough we get more. It's now in its highest setting, 0.554, bring it down to its lowest setting, yeah, sure enough, 0.474. But there's about the middle, and yes, 0.536, 0.53 anyway. So, infrared, yeah, that's the winner. So it beats the sun for voltage, for current, all the way up now, and no, about 1/4 milliamp. But anyway, it is a winner in terms of voltage, if not for current. So there we go, a few fun tests with a decapped 2N3055. More than just showing it working in the sunlight anyway. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you in another video.